Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the party. I am the Dungeon Master for this evening's game of Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition. Hey, it's a version we like and we're playing it, so that's all we need to explain. I am the Bardic Knock. My name is there under my face, and you can use that name to find me on various social medias if you would like to up my numbers, because that's how we all value ourselves, by how many numbers we have on the internet.
I mean, what else are you going to value your life by? Human connection?
Personal morals, achievements. No,
Never.
numbers.
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 Always the
So, yeah.
numbers.
On
The
various.
motto of 3.5.
This is why you like 3.5. No other reason, just numbers.
Wow, you lasted like a whole minute.
Not even. Not even 30 seconds.
Don't try and give
not
us
kid
that
ourselves.
So yeah, anyhow, places you can find me: Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube. It's all the Bardic Knock. Do all that good stuff. Yeah, you know what? People introduce themselves. Then I'll talk about the channel, and then we'll jump in and figure out what we're doing. So people, let's start with Archer. Archer, tell us about you.
Hello, I am Archer of the Eye, and I am playing Keldor, the Knoll Knight. And yeah, fun stuff. Been working on some fun stuff.
And then, just for my ease of mind, we'll do TJ.
Hey, I'm TJ playing Flick the Halfling. What am I this week? I don't know. Rogue, yeah. We'll go Rogue. We're level 8 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're level 8 this week, guys.
Something like that. I don't fucking know. I think we were level 8 last time as well, but...
Yeah.
No, we leveled up at the end of the last session, and then we hit the whole week off that we did last week because of technical issues.
Knowledge brings us together.
Yeah. So, next person who's gonna say who they are would be Cody. Cody, who are you?
Yes, hello. My name is Cody. I play Kid the Dark Horse, Jarl of Cowdenboth, who is among other things, level 1 Eldritch Knight, a prestige class. This is half a loaf of French bread. I'm probably going to eat all of it before the time is done. And today, I think...
Good goal to set for yourself.
Yeah, it's a goal that I will absolutely achieve, because I have no self-control around French bread. Or draconic bread, sorry.
We.
So there is something of your masters that you still believe in.
If you can't believe in bread, what else can you believe in?
Jesus.
Truth.
Pudding, Cody. Pudding.
That means
Never
a different
trust the
thing to
pudding.
you and I than it does to Matt.
This is true.
Like, we sit here and we talk about biscuits and gravy, and he might have a heart attack.
They're so good.
They're not biscuits.
They are biscuits.
You're a liar. Why are you lying
We're
on
not.
the internet of all places?
Biscuits
Yes,
and gravy
bastion of
are
truth.
amazing.
It's not a biscuit.
What is it then? A scone?
Oh, Rebecca, that's an awesome segue.
Yeah, Rebecca, be the last person to say names and things.
Okay. I'm Rebecca. I'll be playing Primrose, the half-orc bard / monk, and TJ this week is librarian. But let me fool you.
Is what?
I mean, Flick is librarian this week. Shut up. It's tiring. I'm tired.
Shh! I'm attempting to steal the library.
All that knowledge you'll never use.
You'll have to carry it out someplace they can't see it. You'll have to just read all the books. Then they'll never get that knowledge back.
I'll never make like a proper segue, like introduction. Not gonna happen. The moment I do, know something's wrong.
Yeah, we'll know that hell has frozen over, and that'll be the time to rate it.
Okay. I'm nearly over the whole biscuits and gravy thing. Although, according to
His coronary's dying down.
because I have a very I know what I consider gravy, but according to someone in the chat, another English fellow, why is your gravy white?
It's milk, flour, and pepper.
That's not gravy.
Occasionally with sausage in it. It's delicious.
You have to have the sausage in it, because then it gets the
Yeah, that's
fat
true.
from the sausages, and it's just, oh, so good.
Sausages? What?
Yeah.
Didn't she say sauces?
No,
No.
Did you say
Sausages.
sausages?
it's sausage.
Sausage. Like very small chunks of sausage that you mix into the rest of it.
So
Okay.
good.
Then you just dump the whole thing over some biscuits.
Now
It's
it's even
amazing.
more offensive because that's not even gravy. What you are calling biscuits and gravy is not. It's neither of those things. Neither of those things are the things you say they are. You're
You're right.
liars.
Cody, you're right about us freaking out. It's amazing.
Just eating some rocks and trees. Munching on some rocks and trees here.
Sorry, I need to explain what gravy actually is before I do anything else. Because I am offended by what gravy is. At least to like normal people, it's
Listen.
basically
Wait,
meat
wait.
sauce.
We just
Like-
got something. Wait, what? Who followed or subscribed? I can't tell.
Dyson dishes.
Did he follow or?
No,
Alright, I
no,
can't
but-
see it.
I missed it.
Dyson
I was too
dishes
busy
were way
being
over.
enraged.
Oh well, I don't know what happened, but I heard the weird
Yeah,
ding-a-ling.
Somebody did a thing. Thank you. We missed it because I was too busy being angry.
Oh, it was hosted. Dyson Dishes hosted us. Thank you very much.
Ah.
That looks
Wonderful.
delicious.
So
Oh my
to
God.
explain what gravy actually is, at least to normal human beings who don't lie about what their food is,
Europeans? Oh my God, no.
gravy is essentially a hot meat sauce. You can make it for whatever meat you're using. For example, today I had a lovely full roast beef dinner, and to make the gravy, what I did is from the roasting joint, collected all of the juices from the meat, put
Mhm.
that in a pan,
Mhm.
got
Uh-huh.
a beef stock cube, an oxo cube, which is basically just salt and various bits, crush that up, throw it in. Got the water, which the vegetables had been boiling in, because that's now vegetable stock, poured that in, added some gravy granules, which are essentially, it's the lazy way of doing it. It's basically the same concept as putting flour in to thicken, and then whatever else. And it's just that. It is just,
That's the same
meat.
thing.
but yours is white. It
Yes,
should be the
because
color of the meat.
It's because we use milk as the stock instead of normal meat juice. It's the
It's
same thing
creamier.
otherwise.
It's wrong.
No.
It's only wrong. Like, okay, what you were talking about wouldn't look good on chicken fried steak.
Yeah, it would look really weird.
Then you use chicken stock and chicken gravy.
Chicken
Broaden
fried
your
steak is steak.
horizons.
Yeah,
Oh, dear
chicken fried
Lord.
steak has nothing to do with chicken.
Mhm.
What?
Anyways, let's get back to D&D and stop talking about food.
Yeah.
Just broaden
My-
your horizons, it'll be fine.
My computer is so outraged it's refusing to load Roll20 for me. So while I'm trying to do that,
Oh man.
so Welcomes to Party is a wonderful, all-inclusive space where we even allow people in who don't know what biscuits or gravy are. We let them in where they can spread their lies and deceit.
And now we
and
make
we
fun of them
accept them.
horrendously.
And we accept them.
You're so bothered by it.
This
My
is your version of
I
acceptance.
genuinely am. The only thing that irks me more is Americans and dipping tea bags. Like that's just sick and wrong, and y'all need to stop that right
I'm
now.
pretty sure I have a
Sorry.
cup around here with a tea bag still in it.
It's
After I
wrong.
finished it.
No, you're supposed to soak it, put it in a giant bucket, and then add an entire thing of sugar.
And then make it cold. And ice
Yeah.
it.
Matt, we're rebels over here, okay? I'm sorry. That's how we live.
At least our food has flavor.
Dyson Dishes is throwing heat, y'all.
See, I've gotten into this argument multiple times about the flavoring. Like, yes, I get it. Ha ha ha. We can all make fun of British food for its blandness. However, historically, when you look at any region, the flavoring is dependent on what is customary.
Available.
Yeah, for
You're right,
example,
Dice. Nobody cares.
for example, somewhere like India or wherever, a place known for very flavor, it's because they naturally have access to lots of flavors and spices and yada yada yada. In England, we flavor things with herbs, like very basic, like
And
thyme
sugar.
and rosemary. Well, we didn't have sugar for the longest time. We had to
Fruit
colonize the world
usually
and
is what you
steal
used.
everything. Oh yeah, like there's a reason like most British desserts a form of bread and sugar, like bread and fruit or pastry and fruit. We use what we had. And the only reason it gets referred to as bland is because in a world market where all of a sudden you can get cumin and put it in anything you want, or you can
It's
get
so much better.
yeah, and so it's easy to pick any culture and find the inherent flaws. For example, I am not a huge fan of Indian food because I find like this is overpowering, not just for me and my little British sensibilities. Like the vast majority, like there is no point to these spices. You cannot taste anything you are eating aside from spice.
I love
There
it.
is no point in this. So
So, welcome to
Now-
the party.
It's an
Now I'm done
all-inclusive
with
group where we have so many awesome things to discuss. We've got all these channels where you can discuss literally anything. I have just started the Biscuits and Gravy discourse in our party feed chat. And Matt, I think you need to see what the most recent one was, because it will probably make you pull your hair out. And it's an awesome group. Please come on in. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's awesome. It gives a free something to one of the games that are here, including in our case, a free Nat 20. In some, it's Advantage, or something relative to whatever tabletop game they are currently playing. And basically, if you consider, let's see, subscriber benefits, I think you also get Michael the Mimic.
I believe you're referring to the different emotes you can get for
That's
different
the
tiers
one,
of
that's the one.
subscription. So tier 1, WTTP D20s, tier 2, Michael the Mimic, and tier 3, Crits on the Rocks. Thank you for saving me from my own rage-induced, just nonsense.
Aneurysm. It's called an aneurysm.
Oh yeah! That explains why, I can feel blood dripping out of my ears.
Good secondary
personal
function to headphones.
Yeah, just.
That's why they call them
Is,
cans.
Anything else? Oh yeah, Welcome to Party. You can follow him on Twitter at WelcomePartyRPG, here on Twitch at twitch.tv/WelcomePartyRPG, and over on YouTube at youtube.com/Welcome to the Party. If you want to join the Discord, link is in the description down below. Oh yeah, bits. We accept bits because who is going to say no to money? You can donate bits. 500 bits will affect a game in a small way of your choosing. People have standard things, whether it's advantage or crit or yada yada yada. Or for 1,000 bits, a large change, so you can introduce a new NPC, or I don't know, the world sets on fire. I don't know. Suggest something. I'm looking at the chat. It's on my little screeny do right here. I'm looking at it. I'm paying attention
Giant
because
squid.
I value you. There we go. That was a long enough pause to make everybody feel uncomfortable.
I feel love suddenly. Why is this? Oh my god, what is this feeling?
Why is my computer's just refusing to load Roll20 for some reason? So, but it's fine. Just
We'll
Yeah,
just
the
tell
DM doesn't
you
need to be in
what our
Roll20.
roles are, and we totally won't fudge it at all.
yeah, sure, fine.
I mean,
don't
you
know,
can look
that's
at the
your 27th
stream.
natural 20 in a row, but I trust you guys.
I'm just gonna say, there is still the whole, oh, I'm watching the stream, and 5 seconds later, he's gonna see that you fudged the roll. So,
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah, I'm not sure what is. I have a suspicion what might be causing all of it, but I'll have a look at that in a second. Well, I'm figuring out what's going on. why don't I give a quick little recap on everything? So, this whole previous however many weeks, this group of, let's call them heroes,
I mean,
were snuck, stealthed into a frost giant's lair. They then proceeded to pretend to be prisoners before somebody decided, nope, start a big fight. They killed the Jarl of the Frost Giants. Our fighter slash wizard, now Eldritch Knight, made himself the new Jarl. Made some Frost Giant and Hobgoblin friends. The Prince, Angus McFive, had a major depressive episode and drank himself into a stupor whilst crying for about 3 days straight. And no, nothing else important happened. I mean, I think Eliza and Prim got married, but it was like a footnote. It wasn't important. Sarcasm. It was like we dedicated like an entire session to it. It was
We
very
did.
important and worthwhile and lovely.
yes.
So,
And Keldor definitely had words with the prince after his depressive outbreak.
he did. We unlocked a little bit of Keldor's backstory,
Yep.
which is sad and tragic and hurt me.
And then I banged my wife. It was great.
And whilst said banging was occurring, another party member had a little dream. You know, it wasn't an important dream. It was, no major lore was dropped. The villain of this entire piece, you know, the perceived villain, or whatever you want to refer to him as, kind of revealed himself, pointing out that he is basically an omniscient being that is reincarnated into every generation, has lived 1,000 times, will live 1,000 more times, has existed upon multiple planes of existence, and has been revered as a god or a savior, and basically just documents everything, and finally had enough of what this world was going to become. Decided to step in, has taken an active role for the first time in a very, very long time, it would seem. Tried to persuade Kid to join him, or at the very least, stop trying to fight him. And then Kid tried to kill himself. No context needed on that.
No, he would have succeeded in killing himself. Like, there's no try about that. That was the end game.
Yeah. Basically, Kid was going to use all of his constitution to use a special magic power and attempt to defeat the boss. Unfortunately, it all turned out to be a dream, and so we ended last session with Kid waking up in, I don't know, anger, a cold sweat. How's Kid feeling upon waking up?
The first thought that runs through his mind immediately is, shit, he knows who I am. Because knowing enough about wizard shit, like the way I do, that is a terrifying notion. Because that puts everyone around me in danger. Not only that, but he also saw the party members' faces flash across the enemy. So he knows who they are, too.
Oh, yeah.
And so this becomes a lot more terrifying. Because now we're dealing with an enemy that could potentially be watching us at all moments.
Scry's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, so basically a plan that we make up in 15 minutes isn't going to be enough for this. We're going to have to throw enough at this thing to where he can't actually stop us, or we have to hit him with something that he doesn't expect, something that even we don't know what we're doing. I don't want to say it, but I don't think we need... I think that if we were going to go in without a plan, that's the only way we'd be able to do it, but I really don't want that to be our only option.
See, it's really bad. My, you know, like early 2000s anime obsessed child emerged like, oh my god, it's like the duel between Yugi and Pegasus. The only way to win is by not knowing what you're going to do. such a man-child.
Yeah, well, the only way to win is to flail aimlessly against the wall, and well, I mean, we've done that before. We've all done that before. I think Primrose and Eliza are probably the most practiced at it, although it's more of a
Listen.
bed than a wall.
Listen, we have great times. Okay.
Yes, we do.
You don't know. You don't know the great times we have, okay?
Every time there's always that rush of danger of who's going to break whose hip.
I mean,
I
It's
mean,
fine,
where's
it's
the
probably happened.
lie?
Eliza has healing magic. It's probably fine.
every time there's an event.
Turns out that's their kink. Yeah, medical event.
It's not, but it's fine. Like, you will. That's okay. I'll punch you later. It's fine.
So Kid goes back to, well, here's the thing. He sits there and thinks, do I want to actually go back to sleep? And he starts to think, you know what? If I had actually done it, and he noped out of it immediately as soon as I started trying, that tells me he might not try it again, at least for a while. And so I think I will feel confident going back to sleep, but I need to start thinking to myself of how to prevent this from happening again. I'm thinking maybe a metal hat. I'll have to do more research into this.
Okay. So, now we know how Kid felt after that. Everyone has a good night's rest. Or not. I don't know. Decide in your own heads. I don't want the details, if I'm honest.
So great.
So it's the next morning. Everybody is as rested as they choose to be. If memory serves, Flick, you had passed out in the main hall with a spoon of mashed potatoes in your hand.
Mashed potatoes.
A forkful of mashed potatoes flies across the room.
So, what is on the agenda for everybody?
Are we planning to leave today? Is that what we're trying to do?
That's our plan.
Okay.
Kid's up in the morning. He gets his spells done and goes to assess the troops as we go out. As a show of solidarity, he tries to see exactly how many of them can pee their names in the snow. Kid wins. His name's not very hard.
Prim is awake. I'm not actually sure what they do. I don't know.
Do you want to come out and pee your name in the snow?
No, do not. It'd be really hard, okay? It'd be really difficult. Okay, Prim is probably I don't know. You know what? Prim is doing Prim things, that's all I know about.
Okay.
All right, wonderful.
Old people shit, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Complaining about the youth of today.
I can't, I'm
Damn
married to one.
whippersnappers can't even have a proper honeymoon night.
I'm assuming at some point, when we all regain a base level of like sanity and cohesion, you all gather and have some kind of breakfast and / or morning meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, with some biscuits and gravy.
I know what Prim has done. Prim has focused their efforts on Flick and just poking his face. Like, what the hell? What are you doing? Cold potatoes are not a good morning thing. Eventually, Prim would just like shove him off the table.
Doesn't even like try and save himself. He just falls flat on his back.
I would make a terrible cat.
Yes.
Water,
So we-
please.
Gen 3 will show up and be like, oh, I got you some water.
See, I knew it was Gen 3 who loved me the most.
Gen 3 gets a little beam on his face, goes, yeah, I do. I mean, I love everybody. I love everyone in this group, really.
Oh. I don't know why, but it seems from us being more aggressive lately. I don't know why. Weird. I'm sorry. I'm out of character.
Nope.
Characters are allowed to be more than half-dimensional.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
half of your
Flick specifically, it's weird. I don't know why. Anyway.
Okay.
So, are we going to the woods today? Into the woods? Into the woods? That
The path is said, I know it well, into the woods. Who can tell what's waiting on our journey?
And here we see the theater major coming into the
I
room.
was-
Teacher. Teacher.
I was literally thinking the same thing, and it's really bad. Like, having been a performer, like, I don't know why, I just have an instinctive like dislike of like theater people. Like, ugh, theater.
Let's be honest, all theater people are like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you ever want to find a group of people who hate each other more, like, you won't find like, every theater person hates other theater people. It's just an outright fact.
Yep. Every one of them is one of them is a step along my way to glory.
Hey, that guys
Anyways,
were steps.
what Keldor has been doing is not sleeping. He's been spending most of the night with the owlbears because he figures that they're mostly nocturnal, and hanging out with that one that I forget what I named it.
Snowball.
It was
Snickerdoodle.
no, it was
We don't
Spot.
talk about what you
Angel.
did with it.
It's Spot.
Okay, so you've been hanging out with your owl bears
Uh-huh.
friend. I think you called it like Snowy or it was
Snowy.
something-
That was the one.
I know it was something along the lines because you wanted a different one, so boom, it looks like a snow owl and it's cute as.
The first couple of days, you're allowed to change the animal's name.
It's still Snowy.
It
I like that
doesn't know.
name because I had a cat named Snowy and it died.
Aw.
TJ, let's not start. I know that
Whoa, my awesome pet stories.
yes, please, let's not. I know.
I don't want to be
know
sad.
we're
Please
all-
don't.
We were all waiting for you. And I just like, no, I'm going to stop this before it starts.
Okay,
Fine, we won't go down that road today.
so Keldor, do you want to roll me a handle animal check?
I believe
just
I
a-
did at the end
'Cause
of
I'm-
last session, and it was a 26.
Yes, yeah, you did 26. Boosh.
If you want me to re-roll it, I can.
No, it's fine. We'll take that final one. So yeah, you are starting to form some kind of bond with this. Basically, it's just generic owlbear stats. So if you pull that up from somewhere straight out of the monster manual, it's not like 100% loyal to
Oh, yeah.
you, but if you so wished, this one owlbear will accompany you. It seems well enough like semi-trained, so it knows attack and like hold back. That's basically it.
Okay. Sounds
In-
good.
Didn't you also make the daisy chains?
Yes, I would have been doing that as well. The gold daisy chains. Because we're a daisy chain.
We are.
Yeah, it's a wonderful
Never
name.
name.
Devin Rue gave it to us, and it's actually like my crowning achievement. An important person paid attention to me, so
Yeah.
Validation.
Validation.
That cannot be our version of mercenaries.
Validation.
Validation.
Let's begin validation. I just start on Monty Python every time you give me the chance. All right.
So, yeah, that's what Keldor did in the evening, because who needs sleep? I'm assuming you're all gathered. One thing specifically you would notice is if you're all gathering, there doesn't appear to be any sign of Angus anywhere inside of the the keep. He looks as if at some point in the middle of the night or very early hours he got up and went off somewhere.
Doesn't he realize it's really cold outside? He can't go
He's-
outside without his coat. Does he have a coat? Is his coat missing?
No. His coat is there. He went out without his coat. Rebel.
This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. We have to find him. I need Zendrix to turn into a hawk right now to go find him. I'm sending Sugar out.
Okay. You can do that. Zendrix will turn into a hawk. You can send Sugar. You can send a few of the Hobgoblin, because they're all rangers, basically. That's their
Yeah.
generic class, so they know what's going on. But you can go and look for him. It's
Sure,
not
at least a
hard.
couple of them have humans as favorite enemy.
It's really not that hard to find where he went. It just looks like he went outside and has been wandering around looking for some stuff. Would any of you gone with Hawk, Zendrix / Sugar, or is this leave it up to the Hobgoblins and the animals to see where he is? Like, are you bothered about going and finding him and having a conversation? Like, okay, no, he's not done an oats from.
I feel like, strangely enough, Prim would, because they just had this moment last night, and I don't know. That's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah, if you think that's what they do, that's what they do. Yeah.
That's what they do. Fuck it. That's what they fucking do.
Don't try and think too much about it. Like, if you want to do a thing, just do it.
It's hard not to, sir.
Understand.
Hard not to overthink? Oh,
But-
come on.
But
None
don't
of us
worry,
sympathize with that.
I'm never gonna turn around and go, no, they wouldn't do that. Like, that's not my
Yeah.
fucking call. That's
Well,
your
they
call.
did it right now. It's weirdly out of character. They could break a hip. Lo and behold, this is what they decided to do today. Maybe it's the early onset of dementia. Who knows? But it could be many things.
You just trying to manifest for breaking a hip?
I don't know. Something about breaking a hip just seems like something really useful today. Maybe I'll inflict it upon Rebecca in a different campaign.
Maybe.
Wow.
Cast
Can you
inflict
not?
hip breakage.
So, yeah, Prim, you go out. Eventually, like, you can follow tracks. You can follow basic guidance. Like, oh, there he is. You go and find Angus. He looks very cold. His nose is very red. His fingertips are slightly blue, and in his hand, he appears to have a small bouquet of wild flowers, bits of thyme, bits like just a few snowdrops here and there. Just a very small bouquet.
Is he just standing there?
Well, he's not collapsed. He's not like dead or dying.
Yeah.
It looks like he was walking around trying to find these flowers.
Let's see. If you're trying to find flowers, there's plenty up here. Prim points to their hair.
Yeah, I was assuming you. I was going. I was just going to ask, like, are you pointing to your head? Or are you like just going? There's flowers over there on the floor. Like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
okay, there's flowers on the floor now. Fuck. Yeah. Remember, you guys can like. you guys want to say like, yeah, there's a thing over like, I'm more than likely okay with it. Like, so long as it's not stupid. Oh my god, a dragon! Like,
Oh look, there's a dragon coming.
and it wants to be our friend.
Oh wow, it's amazing.
Guys,
had-
this is getting pretty boring. It's the 7th time this session.
We just descend upon Dungeon with like an army of silver dragons. Just like that would be hilarious, but terrible.
It's like
That'd be
that
something.
terrible early 2000s D&D movie.
Oh,
You just get the
wow.
scepter that controls all dragons. Everybody makes a comment.
I've never heard of this.
You
Really?
never heard of a live action?
Oh, you
D&D?
have to watch it.
You have to remember, I got into D&D this year, so
I don't have to remember anything, and likely
yes,
won't.
you must.
See, I could be wrong. Wasn't one of the Wayans brothers in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the lead role, or like the sidekick of the lead role. That's what it was.
Yeah, like a big character. I remember.
Well, it was the first two characters that the story centered around were two thieves, and it was the white thief, like I don't know who he looked like, some young action hero guy, and the sidekick-ish guy of him was the Wayne's brother.
That's
Yeah.
God, we made awful movies in the 2000s.
Oh, don't belittle us. We make awful movies now too.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, whatever.
So anyway,
Ant-Man and the Wasp sucked, but the original Ant-Man was okay.
I haven't watched either. Oh, well, I did watch the original one.
Yeah.
Haven't watched the second one, so.
Anyhow.
I can't say any of these things around my students. They will always tear me to shreds every time.
I like bad superhero movies. What can I say?
Yeah.
Hey, nothing
All right,
wrong
let's
with
keep
that.
going.
Anyhow, so Primrose, you kind of
Anyhow.
gesture your hair, and Angus, you can see him visibly shivering. He's obviously been out here a few hours, and he looks and he goes, well, I suppose I didn't want to disturb you. I don't know. Just something made me want to find some wild flowers, I guess.
Prim's head will tilt slightly. How tall is Angus? Shorter than Prim? I don't know.
He's very big for a human. He's like
Yeah.
6'2" ish.
Okay, yeah, Prim is taller than Angus. Okay. Prim tilts their head slightly. Do you mean for your wife?
He kind of looks a bit like sheepish and a bit like almost as if he's never really had to have these kind of conversations with another human being. It's like, well, I suppose that would be.
Prim kind of sighs a little bit, and a small smile appears on their face. And Prim will reach up into their hair and pull out the lily that they've been carrying for a long time, and
How is
hands
it?
it to Angus. We should give her this one too. One special.
As you hand him that, he adds it to his little bunch, and okay, I don't know how much you know about floral arrangement.
A little bit.
I'm not going to pretend like I know much, despite being a raging homosexual. But
Oh my god, me too! Wow!
That wasn't a slur. Those were two separate things. He is just raging and a homosexual. Before we get the letters, we don't want the letters.
But so even though I don't know much, like basically this isn't a very good arrange. Like you can there's some nice flowers. There's but it's very poorly arranged. It looks like someone just grabbed a bunch and went flowers. It looks like a very straight man has tried to go and make a bouquet for somebody.
I think if it will be allowed, I believe Prim would know a little bit about floral arrangements.
I would assume so.
They like flowers.
Yeah.
You I'm not gonna tell you it's okay. Your bouquet kind of is yeah.
He kind of looks down to us.
Wow.
Is it?
What?
Why?
I thought about being nice, but this is important, so I'm going to tell you. You need some help with that. I can help you with that.
But I put the big one like in the middle, and kind of put all these wee ones on it. Is that not how you do it?
I mean, in essence, yes, but
And you know, I made sure to get like a couple of different colors. You know, like so you don't just want to get like all of the different colors and put them all
No.
like that.
no. You
That's-
take a main one. You find others that complement it.
How do flowers complement each other? Like, do they look at each other and go, "Aye, that's a nice petal you got. I like
Yes.
your stem."
It do. It's color, shape, aroma, even the word it's called. Who cares? But that's you complements each other like a husband with a wife.
So tell them they're beautiful.
Oh, this is great.
Can Prim? Okay, Prim is going to go out and see what they can find, and they're gonna pull along Angus like, come on.
Yeah, you're gonna like take Angus and go do some flower picking.
Yeah.
Alrighty. As you're doing this, Angus, like you can tell he's not really understanding, but you can see he is happy and willing to let you take the lead. He doesn't get it, and you even when you finish making the bouquet, he's like, but yeah, he acknowledges that your version is nicer and better, and he acknowledges that his wasn't very good, and he's like, I don't understand it, I don't get it, but you made it work.
Prim has tried to incorporate his bouquet into their bouquet, like to add to it, not just like toss it. That's not what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, you're not like, this is garbage, let's do it real. Like, no,
Yeah,
you're a
no,
good
no.
person. All right, awesome.
I try. Prim tries.
So with all of it, that would maybe take, like an hour or so.
He's now frozen.
Yeah, you can physically see that, like the blue tinge on like the tips of his fingers. You can see it kind of going up, and like Angus did a real dumb man thing. He thought, I'm only gonna be 10 minutes, and walked out, in just his little short sleeve top, and like, oh, it'll be 10 minutes. I'm a hard as nails bloke. And you can see he is physically like just hey, I really, I think this will do. Should we head
Yes.
back and
Yes. Yes.
no, just in case you're cold. I wouldn't want
I'm
you
fine.
to feel chilly. I mean, I'm fine. I could do this for hours.
Primrose hits the back of his back, pushes him towards the entrance. Go.
Hey
Before I
Angus, you want to have a
smack you.
snowball fight?
No.
Okay, so you get back, and Angus, like he puts a little bouquet, like he actually has no idea what to do with it. So he gets one of the jugs in which wine was being served. He doesn't throw the wine away because he knows that would
God.
upset. He knows that would upset Flick. So he pours the wine into a glass and
Okay.
just puts some water in this thing and throws the flowers and goes, "Are you there? I need to go. Not be cold."
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna do a thing with these. So.
Okay.
While I'm going off screen, so I cannot be cold, is there anybody else who's got various things going on for him?
Snap. Wow.
What?
That is a large raid.
Woo!
Woo!
Sleepiest with the 33 raiders. Holy cow. Welcome.
Yay! People like.
Welcome to the party. We're glad you're here.
I like that. That is now our
Is that
new theme song.
Rebecca? Rebecca, we need you to record that. Throck, I think, is really good at doing the recording type of thing, so you may need to like step into the booth.
I mean, personally, I think we. Like, how good are you at editing? Because I think we could turn it into like an electro dance mix. You know, Welcome to the party. We're glad you're here.
Here.
Oh, dear.
Stop.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us. Let's get
They
back
all
into
run
it.
away now.
I know, right?
Yeah, I scared them off. Yes, on brand.
So Angus is dying of frostbite.
Yeah, and being all macho about it and pretending like he's not first when in reality he's.
Freezing his butt off.
Yeah, so he's gonna go off screen and like try and warm up. Obviously, if anybody is desperate to go and interact, feel free to. But if not, interact with each other or other NPCs who are abound.
Now I gotta find a new place to put something. Or a new thing to put on my head because it's empty now. That's okay.
Can we leave yet? What are we waiting for now?
I don't think we're waiting on anything.
I think we're
The
ready
Giants
to go.
already left about 2 hours ago.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's go then.
And you look over and Flick's sitting in the wagon with the reins that aren't attached to anything.
Our horses have been cold for the last couple of days, but they're okay.
Yeah.
Are the horses alive? We kind of
Yeah.
left them.
Are the horses alive? Are we
I
pulling
would have
this
made
wagon?
sure that they're fed and everything. It's not like we.
Remember, it might seem like ooh, because it's taken us, like 5+ weeks to do this mission. You're actually only in this entire place for like less than 10 minutes.
What?
then,
like-
Oh.
No, and then
Okay.
we took a week of downtime.
Yeah, so like in that week of downtime, that's how you've got. Like, you went and got the horses, you sorted them out. They're there, they're taken care of. They haven't
Well, I
died
don't know how-
horribly.
I don't know how much I'm willing to trust the owl bear, so that's a good thing for us. I don't know if we could really use it as a dray animal yet.
No, Keldor wouldn't even allow that. He's gonna have the owlbear with him.
Yeah.
Are you going to be riding it?
No, I'm faster than it by a lot.
Okay.
I'm like twice as fast as it.
Yeah,
Well,
but that
by
doesn't
the
matter.
way-
That's prestige.
Which is more prestigious, to ride it or to have it just lumbering behind you, ready to kill anything you look at?
Riding it.
I mean,
Eh.
for the portraits, you need to be riding it. But when they paint you for being an amazing.
By the
That's
way,
probably why they'll get it wrong. It's like
Okay.
when the
We interrupted
legends
Rebecca
get
too many times,
told.
let's fix it. Okay, Rebecca, go.
okay. Yes, ride the owlbear. That's lovely. Just as a side note, Prim no longer has their hair in a braid. It's just like in a
Mhm.
high ponytail. I don't know, something like
Dun
that.
dun dun.
Very simple. Easy to make, easy to do. That's it. Go back to your owlbears now.
Yep, owlbear's coming with us. That's all.
All right.
Oh, Prim really loosened up after a wedding night.
Yeah, they did.
Did you ever make like a final deciding plan on like? Because I know you've got this notion like, all right, we're gonna hit the forest because then when we hit the forest, we can split and go either to Draxspire and find out what's going on with the Society of Dragons, or go and find our friends who are captured and or dead.
Yes, that is currently the plan.
You said
We
two
need to-
things.
Which one?
That's
You know
the
what we
plan.
should do? Let's
We're-
split the party again.
Do we go
Oh,
left
God,
or
that
do we
might
go
not be a
right?
good option this
Yes.
Currently, we're headed to the woods and haven't decided whether we're going. We're most likely gonna go try and find our friends, but currently we are
I don't
still
know.
just
Draxfire
headed
is a
to the
tempting
woods.
option. We need clerics, and that's where Draxfire would come into play.
Do they have clerics?
I would hope so. If there is a dragon there, I'm willing to bet there's something that worships it.
Would Prim know?
Well, that would
this
be more
cleric's
on the
there?
line of like dragon shamans and stuff rather than
True,
Clerics.
clerics.
Kid doesn't understand enough about religion to understand that.
I mean,
He thinks that humans will-
sorry, Rebecca just asked a good question. Would Prim know anything? Because Draxspire is Prim's hometown.
Ooh.
How long has it been since Prim left home?
Well, that's a good question. When the party met Prim, they were on their way to, what's the big city, the main one that burned down?
Dundee.
Dundee. They're on the way to Dundee from Draxfire. So probably a good month or so, or a
Not
couple
very
months.
So she
but-
just left.
Yeah, not years or anything. Okay, so
They've gone out back. They've gone out and back and out and back trying to find various things. So they've, yeah.
okay, so Prim, what you know about Draxspire? Well, accurate recent historical data, not like 20 years ago when I was like no, okay, a few months. It's a pretty quiet farming-esque town. I mean, they call it farming, but they basically just dig up rocks and say this is food.
It is.
There was like a small church, maybe like 1 or 2 clerics there full time, and the village itself hadn't really, because the Society of Dragons, that was a new thing to you'd never heard. So either this is a very secret organization, or it is only just coming to the surface, or it's brand new.
Oh, thank you,
No,
troll
I-
player, for following.
Woo!
That's a cool name, by the way.
It is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what Prim would know. It's like, yeah, there may be like 1 or 2 clerics there, kind of like an Eliza type. Like they just there and keep the church ticking over. But
Not a large cleric present.
no, because it's a pretty small place in general. It's maybe 100 people or so. It's a small.
We found rocks. It's very small.
We also need another magic dragon because ours has been captured.
Let's head to the woods first, and then we'll decide
That's a good
once we find out if there's druids or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
Jeez,
do want to meet people in the woods as well. So let's head to the woods. I say as I'm
Okay.
like dragging my
Yeah.
giant owlbear behind me.
Okay.
We've been departing for the last couple of minutes arguing about what we were going to do when it really doesn't matter for weeks.
Andale, andale.
Okay. So
Yeah, and Keldor would be doing his normal thing for this, where he's like going all like running loops around the party, making sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Yeah. Okay. Before you leave, Angus, he's got himself warmed up, and he kind of pops his head and goes, "Oh, I saw it. I just have to go and take care of something real quick." And he heads off to the room where his wife is. Obviously, anybody can follow or they can not. It's entirely up to you guys.
No.
That's a private moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stealth in behind him.
I want to see what shit. Okay, so Flick, you follow him behind him. Are you actively stealthing? Like,
Oh
"Shh,
yeah,
don't-"
I'm moved silently and hiding in case he turns around.
All right, yeah. Roll for me.
Okay.
Crit fail, crit fail, crit fail.
Hide.
Nope.
Hide is a 29,
Uh huh.
and the move silently is 36.
Yeah,
It-
you are invisible.
It
Oh
is
my
physically
goodness.
impossible for Angus to roll high enough to see or hear you, but just in case, no. Right. Awesome. So Angus walks into his room and he has like this little bouquet of flowers that he'd made, and he stands in front of the thing and he's staring at his wife frozen into this giant block of ice. It's a very soft and tender moment as Angus pauses, and he slowly begins to talk. And he goes, "I'm sorry, not for what's happened to you. Obviously, that's beside the point. I'm, I'm sorry. I lost faith because in difficult times, a lot of the time, all we can do is believe things will get better. And I let that slip. I let myself give up. And I think, to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter if I win or lose. Not in the grand scheme of things, because we're all really small, tiny, insignificant specks to the universe, to the multitude of the different levels of existence. And nothing any one of us can do is really going to change the grand plan. But it matters on the small scale. And I forgot about that. There are so many other things which are easy to let slip and to forget. I forgot that we'd even been here before. Do you remember? It's so long ago. Before it, fell below the ice. We were here for... I don't even know what it was. We were like wee babes. I don't remember, but the one thing I do recall is there was this wee little girl. She had platinum blonde hair, and it was braided down in this long, fancy way, and she was wearing this really pretty, fancy dress. And I remember how much she hated it. And the first chance she got, she hiked that wee dress up and walked out into the frozen snowy fields to find flowers. And it was... I know that the reason we got married, like officially speaking, is all of this politics. Something about my dad and your dad and all kinds of bollocks, but I have always admired you because you never cared about that. You never wanted to just do something because you're supposed to. You did it because you wanted to. And if I'm honest, you always inspired me to try and be a little bit, individual. And I don't even know if you can hear me properly or anything, but I did what I could. Gotcha this wee bouquet. Angus then proceeds to put the bouquet of flowers down at the feet of the frozen wall, and he pauses and lets out a deep sigh. The room feels silent and almost empty for a moment, followed by a gust of wind which just rattles through. And Angus, he slowly stands there, and just under his breath, just to himself, hums slightly. Where is it? There. I'll build my love a bower by the cool crystal fountain, and around I will pile all the wildflowers of the mountain. Ligu lassie. And as he pauses, tears slowly roll down his face. Before he takes a deep breath, stands up tall, wipes his eyes, it doesn't matter if I win or lose, because whatever I do it for that wee girl I met and fell in love with. And he turns around and slowly leaves.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to approach the bouquet, and I'm going to take out just. I've got a whole bunch of like random gems that we accrued from piles. I'm just going to pull out like the prettiest looking one and sort of secure it around the bouquet with a little piece of string or something.
Aw, cute.
That is super, super cute. All right. Angus comes and joins you, and Flick mysteriously appears. I'm assuming. Flick goes, "No, I'm too sad. I stay here now forever."
I am one with the ice.
We go back in, all of a sudden we see a second little person stuck in the ice beside her. What
Oh,
happened?
come on. We know Flick wouldn't like just freeze normally. Flick would freeze whilst partway through like mooning everyone. Like, yeah, you're gonna look at my ass forever.
It'd almost be worth it, you know?
And then we all take about 5 minutes to critique what it looks like. Just like, that's really weird looking. It's lumpy over there. No.
So, Angus rejoins you all, and just he looks he doesn't look visibly upset or distraught. Like, he looks almost invigorated as he walks out and goes, "All right, so sorry for keeping everybody waiting. We good to go."
Yeah, I've been waiting on you. I had enough time to sit here and draw what Keldor looks like.
Okay. Um, before I let you guys set off, what is the plan for all the other people that are here? The hobgoblins, boss giants, and what do you?
Begin heading to the ruins of Dundee.
All right, yeah.
Busboy, maid.
Okay, so let's get a little look on our lovely little map.
Whoa! It's updated.
Whoa.
Fancy. I gotta show everybody this. Switch scenes. Ah, there we go. See the fancy map.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I'm assuming that's there.
cool. Look at the map.
Yes,
We're gonna go to Cowdenbath. No, wait, we're leaving Cowdenbath.
Yep.
We're
Yeah.
going.
We're headed that way.
Yeah.
To Cladwell Forest. The
Oh, it
forest that
actually
all
shows
grows-
miles. Oh, that
Yeah,
is
right.
brilliant.
See,
Ah.
I put the effort in, so you can calculate how long it'll take you to get places.
Well,
So
if that's the case, given our horses, we can make about 16 miles a day.
yeah, give or take.
So
You can basically get to near the forest in a single day travel.
And it'll be harder once we're inside.
Mm.
Unless there's
Yeah.
roads.
But wait, are
Doubt
we
it.
sure we don't want to go to Drake's Ripe?
Did I spell that wrong?
It is Drake's Ripe.
Ah! Okay, screw it. That's the new name.
The smelly dragon mountain. Drake's Ripe.
Forget everything I said. It's not Draxspire. It's Drake's Ripe now because I refuse to spell check.
This is the map that we got inside of the inside of Cowdenbath. Maybe they changed names since then. It's an older map.
This is a very
Draxspire
old
was
map.
too old and outdated.
Prim's like,
Like
oh
it's
my
a
god,
spire.
why?
What? It's a giant mountain. Yeah, call it a spire, huh? Well, how about Drake's Ripe, right? That doesn't matter. That doesn't
That's
actually
not
mean
what it's
anything.
called.
It sounds cooler.
It's not what it's called. It's called Draxspire.
Are you sure, Primrose? Are you sure you read it correctly?
I
Look
live
at the
there.
map.
I live there.
Uh-huh. But that's
Ugh.
like people from New Orleans calling everyone has a different way of saying New Orleans.
What the fuck is New Orleans?
New Orleans.
New
Oh,
Orleans.
it's a city way south of this kingdom. It's a really terrible place. It's all swampy and nasty.
It was named
Oh.
after the native narwhal population, but everyone started pronouncing it wrong.
New
Sounds
Orleans.
terrible.
Are we just firing shots at New Orleans now?
Everyone
Yes.
does it anyway, so we might as well.
See, it's really bad. Somewhere in my mind I went, there's a Hurricane Katrina joke somewhere. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't
it's long
Don't
enough.
say
Long
it.
enough.
Well, no matter where we're shooting at them
Ooh.
from, they're always shooting back uphill. So
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I haven't I hadn't put the joke together, but it was like the starts of it were forming in
You
my
can
mind. It's
stop then before I goes anywhere.
like okay, so first day of travel. Would anybody like to have? Well, we're going to take a break in a couple of minutes. So, does anybody have a particular character interaction scene they would like to explore?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Okay, Primrose, who would you like to have an interaction with on this first day's travel? In your
Whoever
one?
is listening. Sorry.
Well,
Nobody.
you've only got one wagon, so everyone's there.
Okay then.
Except for Keldor. Keldor's walking all over the place.
Yeah.
Prim did say last night that they would be commentary in their voice. Jesus. Prim said last night that they would share their backstory.
If you are wanting to do a full back, as I said, we're going to be taking a break in a few minutes. Do you think that will be longer than 10 minutes? Because if so, should we wait till after the break for
After
it?
the break?
Because I
Okay.
don't want to feel like we're cutting you short or rushing you for it, because it's obviously a big flipping deal. So they don't have a stupid character scene they want to explore. And mess
who's
around
sitting
with.
up front with Flick?
Gen
Why
3.
is Flick driving? Again.
Why would Flick not be driving?
He's always
Uh,
driving.
So
How
far,
is he
Flick
gonna
is a
perfect-
perfect driver?
Yeah, how's he gonna
He's
perfect
not.
his drinking and driving if he doesn't practice? I
I
mean-
just hope-
Hopefully, no other parts.
Pop Arts.
I feel before we continue, I should state we here at Welcome to the Party do not condone drinking and driving. We highly recommend and advise that you don't combine these two. However,
Uber
in a
is a great
fantasy setting,
service.
it's kind of hilarious. So,
Now, with that disclaimer aside, yeehaw!
so Flick, how drunk are you, and how are you driving?
Well, I think who is sitting up front with me? Is nobody sitting up front with me? Because then I'm not even gonna roll a sleight of hand.
I'll say Gen3 is sat up front with you.
Oh,
he
well
doesn't pay
then,
attention to shit. Just
no,
do it
I.
anyway.
Okay, so no one's sitting up front with me. Gotcha.
Gen3
So-
so desperate for approval, he wouldn't care what you're doing.
No, exactly. I like.
Gen3 will
I go to-
literally help anyone with anything if he gets their approval and
I go
validation.
to sneakily pull my flask out and like take a drink when he's not looking, and then I go, wait, it's Gentry. And then I look over and I just like take a big drink.
This is where Prim breaks their hip. Gonna happen now. God damn it.
Does
we
Flick
call it.
actually verbally, like, out loud say, "Oh, it's Gen3"?
No, he thinks that part. But
If you
then
did,
he
he would have
takes
gone,
a drink.
"Yeah, it's me. Do you want me to get you more? I can get you more.
Oh god.
Please love me."
This poor guy.
All right, so we've been driving for at this point 20 minutes, 20
Yeah,
hours,
let's say that.
20 days, 20 minutes.
Minutes is all it took you.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm not very drunk 20 minutes in. I'm just chasing the dog, you know.
Yeah.
Hair of the dog. Hairy
Keldor's in
dogs.
front of us.
Yeah. Keldor's in
So-
front of us?
No.
Oh.
Well, he's kind of circling us, so he's in front of us every now and then.
He's like a piranha.
It's like
Kind of.
it's
Like a
like
big hairy piranha.
I'm
with an
actually
owlbear.
doing my archetype, which is scout.
Yeah.
Hooray! And you have an owlbear that's undoing everything that you're doing.
So, I don't
Out of
know. Is it,
curiosity,
yeah.
sorry, this is just because the owlbear's like, is the owlbear walking like next to the wagon? Is it between the wagon and like where is the owlbear in all of this? Is it walking behind the wagon? Is it tied to the wagon?
I thought it was
no,
pulling the wagon.
Keldor
No?
would have been like taking it because, funnily enough, owlbears can track,
Yeah, they
Yes, they can.
so he's helping me.
Okay. I now feel the need to give this owlbear pointless characterization. Um, the
Victory.
owlbear, as you're walking through the snow, the owlbear kind of like it starts to play a little bit in the snow because you don't know how long it's been kept inside for, but it kind of like bounces through the snow a little bit. Not too dissimilar to just like a big happy dog. But it doesn't quite realize how big it is. Like it thinks it's one of those, you know, like a Great Dane or a Saint Bernard or a Newfoundland, where they can't quite grasp how big they are.
Mhm.
It's doing that. You know, it's like trying to squeeze through like small gaps, and it gets a little bit stuck, and it goes nope, and just burrows its way through. Like boom, 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 boom. It's having fun. It's enjoying itself.
Aw, cute.
And it's cute AF.
It's also terrifying.
Eldor finds it very endearing.
Strangely, so does Primrose.
Okay.
It's a weird thought in their head about animals.
Ah. Oh,
What are you trying to do about handle animal check, Flick?
Make
I'm
the horses
trying-
shit thing behind it.
I'm trying to, as the owlbear is not paying attention behind it and just paying attention to the snow in front of it, I'm trying to sneak the horses closer and closer to its side.
Are you trying to scare the owlbear?
Yep.
It's not gonna work. You have horses versus the creature of death.
The horses are getting scared at this point.
Yeah.
God, we need these horses, Flick.
but I handled them perfectly.
I mean,
As you try and steer the horses, like their heads are actively trying. But you're doing such a good job. You're like, come on, horses! And they get close to the owlbear, and when you get close enough, the owlbear look like it doesn't even like look over its shoulder. It does that owl thing where its head just turns more and goes.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
The best way to make them rear up, or should I like smack
Oh
them
my
in the
God.
ass?
Stop.
If anything,
no.
it actually encourages the horses to go into a slight gallop and push a little
Oh,
further
no!
ahead. The owlbear thinks it's a game, also speeds up, starts following them.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Kel-
kid's sitting in
Kelder's
the back of the wagon, just getting jostled a little bit, and he's like, "Yep, there it happens."
Well, I was about to just describe the back of a wagon. The back of a wagon is like being swung around because this isn't a proper road. This is like just snow-covered tundra you're crossing through. So there's no real road. There's no real traction. It was already an uncomfortable ride, and now you're being like slammed around a little bit.
I'm like pulling back on the horses as much as I can, but I only weigh like 45 pounds, so.
Oh dear.
okay. Kelder's gonna let it happen for a little while, and then he's gonna get the owlbear to stop
Ow.
scaring them.
Okay. I am going to count it as you don't need to roll a handle animal.
Okay.
For the basic commands, stop and attack. These are like tricks that an animal can learn. You don't need to handle animal every time. These are ones you have taught it. So, how does Keldor? What is the command for stop? Like, is there an action? Is there a sound?
Just snaps his fingers to get the owlbear to come to him. Because owlbears have really good listening, so he doesn't have to be that loud.
Yeah. So you do that. The owlbear stops in its tracks. In the snow, it skids a little bit.
Does
And-
that thing where its head is staring behind it and then its body turns around to match it?
Yeah. And then it bounds over to Keldor and sits like a big, fluffy, happy, feathery
Oh.
puppy.
It's like
God.
a bear. Like a
Cat,
big
owl, bear, dog, anything.
Owls are more like cats than dogs.
What?
They're cats of the sky.
Cats and owls and cats and owls and cats and owls. That's it, right?
I don't
Yes, totally.
I don't have enough alcohol in my system.
I think I need another
does.
drink.
Okay. So in return,
So,
we have the
We'll have
Minotaur with us, right?
oh yeah, Hyros.
did you want him to come with you?
Yeah.
No.
Kelder would have been talking to him.
Yeah, we'll bring the Minotaur for the siege.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring him. He could have gone with the giants though.
No,
Yeah.
Kelder would have wanted to talk with him because he was their
Oh, yeah,
captive. Do you really want him to go with them?
Yeah, that's a good point. He probably killed up people. We need as many as we can get.
Yeah. The orcs and the
put him on the
kobolds all
opposite side of the
flipping
city.
died, so...
Keldor will have been like talking to him on and off.
Yeah.
What's his
Um,
name, anyways?
uh,
I keep forgetting it.
Yeah. Depending on how you want to pronounce it, Hiros. He'll walk on the outside. He can't move as fast as Keldor, but he's got a pretty decent speed.
Okay.
So he'll, during the time, if you wanted to talk to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'll talk to you about things if you want."
Yeah, I would be talking to him.
Just a vague thing, because we are going to take a break, so I'm not going to like go, "Ooh, here's the full scene." He like the general attitude you get from him is he's very proud. Everyone's like, "Haha, I'm a big, strong hunter person." Thing. He definitely gives off a sense of pride, not excessive to the like extent of arrogance, but that's kind of it. It's like, "Oh yeah, I can do the thing. Ooh, great, wonderful. I will help and do more of the thing." Shit like that.
Sweet.
He just seems like a generally pleasant, outward going person.
A giant, friendly cow monstrosity. Sounds good.
Yeah. Giant friendly cowman.
All right.
So, I think we are at the perfect point to take a quick break. So, we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
See ya.
Bye. All right. Hello and welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the party. Ta-da! Set the thing. Before we jump in, same stuff as always. Welcome to the party. Great place. Discord server link down below. Twitter is at Welcome Party RPG. Twitch, twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG. Give them a follow, subscribe if you want to. And YouTube is youtube.com/Welcome to the Party. Good stuff. Good stuff happens here. That's all basics. So, where we took our quick break was shenanigans during travel. But there is an important thing which was meant to happen during this travel, and that is Primrose. You stated that you wished to share some of your story with everybody. As the shenanigans calm down a little bit, and everyone's kind of like, time's going a bit slow for some of them, and I'm just trying to think how this conversation started. So let me tell you about myself.
Well, no, there's a certain thing. I'm thinking about it. Prim would introduce their comrade to start it off with, and go from there.
Okay, so you have the floor.
All right. First of all, what is the wagon layout?
Sorry, can you repeat? My brain just had a little slow moment. What is the wagon? What? Sorry.
Layout.
Basically, stereotypical wagon. And there's little roof on it. It's essentially like two benches on either side. There's a small central area so people can like stand up and get in and out if they so need. As for where people are sat in it, you're kind of all just crammed in there together. You are sat next to whoever you want to be sat next to.
Oh,
Uh-oh, we lose her?
she's sat next to silence and invisibility and companion.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
there she is.
God, the strain.
Hello? Hello?
There we go.
Yes.
She's
Hi.
back.
Okay.
We got
For
her.
some reason, Discord likes to shut me off after a couple times. Whatever. Kid, where's Kid sitting, Cody?
Kid is sitting towards the front of the wagon, getting jostled around, but attempting to draw.
Okay. Okay, they're not going to talk to Angus about this, because they already learned to not listen. Who is right now the actual leader of the party?
Did we ever elect one?
I don't know.
I don't.
As far as
think
royalty
so.
status, technically Kid's the highest up at the moment.
I mean, clearly it's meat sprinkles, which is why we're off to rescue them.
Okay, then Prim will look over to Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm assuming Laz is like reading something as she always does.
Oh yeah, she's always got a book.
Yeah. Kid. There's something I wanted to share with the collective group, but I think it's important that you hear it because honestly, I think it's at this point you're kind of our leader, I guess. I don't really know.
Am I?
Maybe.
Guys, am I the leader?
Sure, kid,
You
whatever
act
you
like
want.
the leader, so it's close enough.
Okay. Cool. All right. I guess that means Okay, cool. I'll figure that out later.
Wait, guys, are we really doing this? This could have big repercussions. We should think about this one. We should
Kind
talk
of
it out.
young. I think I get that.
Yeah.
I like
You
the thing
act-
where we, all decide on things together instead of having a leader.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, I was about to say, I like being like the leader of the Frost Giants and all, but like, I think that
Fine,
might be a little bit
then.
too much for me.
Fine.
You're a
Prim will lean
shot
forward.
caller, not the leader. There is a difference.
Prim
Right,
leans
I'm
forward.
the general.
Prim leans
Prim
forward.
leans forward. Fine. Then you're just our tactician. Our tactician.
That I'm okay with, if I know
Calm
what it meant.
down. Okay. Well. I have an ally in Dunkirk that I think would be beneficial to the party. They have a little shop in town. They run a shop in town if they're still there. If she's still there.
She.
They run a little. Yeah, she. If she's still there, they run a little shop in town. I think it was called. It's got some draconic flair to it. Le Fancy Goblin, something like that. So she runs a shop. She does a lot of things. So she would be a good source of information, I think.
Tell me, what is her? Does she have like a strong place in the town? Like, does everyone go to see her? Is she like the? Does she have like a food shop?
No, it's an item shop. Last I heard.
Oh.
I think she tends to change inventory a lot, but I know she always has traveler's goods.
Travelers. Oh, she's a general store. Got it.
Kind of. We used to travel together a lot when I was younger. There's just one thing that I probably should warn you about now. She's a little off. So, but she's a good person.
Really? A good person. Okay, tell me exactly how many scars does she have?
And where are they on her body?
Prim
Exactly.
pauses. I could tell you that in detail, but I won't.
Oh, so I have to find out myself? You know I don't roll that way.
Eliza's ears pick up, and she kind of puts her book down and gives you a little bit of a glare. And she goes, "What? Why do you know what all of her scars are?"
Prim turns to Eliza. We were traveling companions when I was younger. You take baths like
Years before
just
you
how
were
it
born.
happens.
Okay, so
It's nothing to be concerned about.
if you say so.
It's not.
She kind
We'll
of pursed
discuss
her
this
lips a
later.
little- Yeah. She pursed her lips a little bit and opens her book back up, gives you a little side eye, and goes,
Don't be jealous, you silly.
Prim, that's your wife. Come on.
I know.
Someone's gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight.
Nothing happened. Oh my god. Anyway.
Now we just have to break into someone's house with a couch.
Not hard.
Anyway.
Yeah, look who you're telling.
Oh my. Nothing happened. Shut up. Anyway.
We just talked like all married couples, okay?
Anyway.
You know that traditional getting to know you conversation that happens on the first
After you
night?
get married.
It's happening now. Why not?
"Sorry, I totally just derailed this entire thing. Sorry, Rebecca. Please."
No, this is
please
perfectly
keep
on
going."
character for us. Let's go.
I just married her. Now it's gone. Anyway. Prim is gone too, just like off. Like Prim is confused now. What happened? Wait. What was the question?
Okay, so if you traveled with her, is she the reason why you lost your eye, or was she there when that happened, or did you give it to her, or what happened?
Oh, here, you look like you could use a third one of these. Pop.
Prim.
Archer's dying. Sorry, Rebecca. I haven't heard Archer breathe in like a minute and a half. And people
I'm
wonder
laughing,
why
but Prim
he
is
played a
not.
yeah.
Prim is not
People
laughing
wonder
at
why
all.
Archer
Just
played a
me.
hyena.
Fuck. So at that
Oh.
remark, Prim goes very quiet for a moment. They lean back against the wall again, and
Goose
what?
I was telling Archer Goose for Abba.
Okay, Jesus. Let's not kill the
Sorry.
Keldor today.
Sorry, Rebecca, I'll stop interrupting you. I just love poking a laughing man when he's down and can't breathe.
Um,
It's like you looked right at me.
Fuck, where was I? Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I ruined
Kid
it.
just asks you, like, your traveling companions, does she only have one eye? Did she take your eye? Did
Yeah.
you give her your eye?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
give it to her?
Remember, his frame of reference for you traveling with anybody is with you and everyone in the party, and also you and Eliza. Those are the only two things he gets, so he's really trying to figure out what the extent of your traveling was.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, okay. So yeah, at the eye question, Prim gets really quiet and leans back against the wagon wall again.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we just got raided again.
Oh.
by Torn Pixie, thank you very much for the raid.
Oh,
Woo!
welcome to the party. We're glad you're here.
We still have to record that, Rebecca.
Every time I get raided, this happens. This is how.
I'll go
Yep.
back and record the soundbite from this.
There you
Okay.
go.
Whoa.
Um,
To the party, we're glad you're here.
We'll
Too
record that one
much.
too, like have them playing over the top of each other.
Yeah.
We'll just get like 32 layers.
And what's best, put them all just like a fraction of a second out of time. So it's like,
Oh
Yeah.
no! Don't do
We
that.
are the Borg. Welcome here.
Torn Pixie rating with a party of 9. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the party. Join the collective.
Oh man, I think I finished dying from laughter. So
Cool. We'll probably start you off again here in a minute, so let's go.
Yeah,
this is
no
true.
guarantees.
So yeah, Prim is kind of they're staring off towards the ceiling a bit. That is a different story. But I suppose we have time. And they'll sigh a bit. And ever so slightly lean against Eliza a little bit. It's like a comfort thing.
yeah. Eliza is fine with it. You can tell that she wasn't like genuinely offended. It was a bit of a okay. And she's fine.
Yeah.
She's not
Yeah,
like going, ooh, no, don't touch me. Ugh.
No, it's fine.
They're already gonna divorce.
Not the quickest wedding.
Don't you dare jinx it, I swear.
Turns out Primrose was a secret Kardashian.
Or I knocked on some fake wood.
There we go. I'll knock on some real wood.
No,
Good
Matthew.
That was me.
We can't do it. We'll never come back.
Alright, I suppose I should start at the beginning. That would make the most sense. That's when it happened. More or less. Let's see, how old is Primrose again? I forget.
You don't have to remember.
I remember enough. Okay. 50. So.
Not every old person.
That's me now, man. I don't know what to tell you. Um. So
We'll eventually get
I'm
back
not
on.
good at telling stories. Stop. um. I'm not. It's terrible.
That's not what I was laughing at.
Okay.
I put in the chat. Someone
What did
said,
you do?
Archer, please tell me that's not your best dancing skills. And I said, does this call for a daisy chain dance off? And almost before I finished typing send, Archer said, no, no, it doesn't.
Welcome to the party. We're glad you're here.
I happen to know that certain person who commented, good friend of mine.
Yeah, and so they know your dancing skills.
Yep.
Well, here's a shout out to True Snow White then.
Just out of curiosity, Archer, is this person are they currently in the same vicinity as you? Are they like
No.
behind the screen?
Unfortunately, no. They're like several hundred miles away. Be nice if they weren't, but
Okay, I was just wondering if it was someone mocking you from across the room, but
no, they're doing that
I
out
saw that.
loud in the room. They don't bother looking at the Twitch. They like to have conversations with me while I'm doing this, and I can't
we've
hear
noticed.
them.
Sometimes we can and you can't, and that's hilarious.
Uh,
so to help Rebecca get back into this,
I know where I am actually. Think about it.
Eliza, she can see what Prim's being like. Oh, I'm not quite. Eliza, will, she'll close her book and she'll put her hand on yours very gently and be like, just breathe, take your time, imagine if you're writing a story on it instead of trying to tell one. Like, how would you write this in a wee book?
You're so smart. Let's see.
Sail.
Stop singing. You're supposed to be driving.
That's all you hear from the front is every once in a while the song lyric.
Jesus.
Sorry, I'm desperately trying not to distract it. It's just when TJ said that, like, TJ, I actually know the perfect song for Flick. There is an Irish folk song called Seven
God.
Drunken Nights.
No.
And
Oh boy.
basically, I'm justifying this tangent by saying it's giving Rebecca time to think and know what she's gonna say. It's fine.
The
Yeah,
hardest
sure,
part of a
sure.
writer is knowing how to start the fucking story. This is really hard.
Yeah. So basically, TJ, how the song goes is like it's like 7 verses, one for every night, and the way the song is composed, like when I got home on a whatever night, as drunk could be, and basically the story of the song is every night this guy gets home and he sees something, like he sees another man's horse outside his house, like, ooh, what's that? So the song goes, and I called my wife and I said to her, would you kindly tell me who's this horse? And she goes, that's not a horse, that's it's this. And then it gets to the point where it's like he's seeing another man's boots and another man's pipe, and the song finishes like, and he sees another man's head like in his bed with his wife, and she goes, no, it's a baby boy. No. So I highly recommend you go and look up Seven Drunken Nights as Flick's theme song.
Okay.
Alright,
All right, Rebecca, let's go.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
I got it. So the orc tribe of the Black Claw 50 years ago was a bit different. They weren't as scattered, for one thing. They, for whatever reason, I don't really know why, never really asked. Wasn't my place to ask. They decided is the chieftain for orc tribes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call them, really.
Alright. The chieftain at the time decided that the Black Claw tribe would have more success in their hunting if they brought in half-orcs. So I was one of the first ones. And it didn't go very well. I wasn't very strong. Or I was more intellectual than battle hungry, as they so called it. And my mother got blamed for that. Grim pauses for a moment, and their voice has gone really quiet and soft, and they're reminiscing a bit before they continue. They well, the village that I currently call home, they had raided that village, and that's where my father lived. Excuse me. That's so weird to say still. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is, they blamed my mother for my failures. And they I guess you could say they banished us from the tribe. And Prim goes quiet again. They're trying to think about what words to use. They seem a little bit uncomfortable, like their hands are in their lap and they're just kind of like wringing their fingers together. They just seem bothered by all of this. It's very cold in Jackspire.
Drax right.
Not even acknowledging you.
I think we're used to that at this point.
Yeah. It's
Is there
very
any
cold.
value in us going there again?
What?
Is there any value in us going there again? For you going back? Is there anything there that could help us out? Because we've got one destination, and that'll be it.
Well, I mean, you've talked about the group has talked about getting more clerics, and then if there are more up there, then sure. I don't know of any, but I mean that's. But to the actual village, is that what you mean? What do you mean?
It's
To do.
weird. If we head there and we can find anything that can help us, it's better than us having avoided it, but also lost out on what we had. Basically, here's how it goes. From what I know of this place, the lady who gave me this, he says, pointing to the little white marks on his face. She's there, and I can tell you just by looking at her, her magic ability is better than mine. Immensely so.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And so, here's the problem that we have. If we go there and we somehow convince her to assist us, or at least the people that she works for, then not only would we be able to go after Dunkirk, but we'd also not have someone who might just be willing to pick up the pieces after we're done. Let's put it like this. We go after Dunkirk right now. He can make meteors fall from the sky. This sorcerer. If we can't beat that, then we've gotten a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, from what he said, it sounds like he's just able to deal with this. Like, he's able to throw magic at us we haven't even seen before. Magic from, like, before anything. Kid just stops and realizes that he hadn't told anybody about the dream yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably useful to go there. Don't know about the village or whatever. Prim seems a little bit dismissive of the village, to be honest.
Okay.
But anyway, uh, Darkspire is very cold, especially at night. And
What about Cladwell?
what?
What about
What about-
Cladwell? I've seen the
What-
maps. It's fairly close by.
What are you asking me?
Well, if we don't go to Draxspire, then we'll still have to pass through Cladwell in order to get to Dunkirk, unless we want to try and cross the river, but that was hard enough the first time.
Kind of flew over it.
We did, and that took a lot of prep work out of us.
True.
I mean, I thought that's where we were going anyway, but
Do you
I don't
what we
know
can
anything
expect
about.
to find there?
I mean, I've been through it a few times, but I have just passing, not actually going in.
Okay.
I don't know how to answer that question. I'm sorry.
I guess the last one I have is about your friend. You've seen what we do. You've seen what we go up against. And if she traveled with you before you met us, how strong is she?
Well, stronger than me, which is easy to do.
Kid sits there and he's aghast because he's never at one point considered you weak.
My friend. Well,
What can she do? Can she lift an axe bigger than her head?
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, she's
Okay.
a dwarf.
She's a okay. That's new information. All right, that's good for us to know.
Mhm.
So is she like one of the ones who can get all armored up and like chop down an entire pillar like that's supporting a castle?
I don't know if. So you've distracted Prim from their story, which they actually are kind of happy about. They are feeling a little bit again uncomfortable with the whatever, but they seem more happy now talking about their friend. I don't know if she would want to do that. Again, she's a little bit odd, but from what I recall, on our travels, she was, well, Prim got this to Eliza, and thinks about it for a moment. She is definitely not like anyone in the party, as far as skill wise. So she would add a lot more of that. She's a warlock.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, Angus raising eyes. I agree. The fuck is that?
Sounds
So-
cool. What is it?
So back when we were traveling, she was still figuring it out and all of that, but from her recent letters, she seems to have gotten a little more control over it. From what I understand, Primrose gets over to Angus a little bit unsure if they want to continue or not.
Magic rebels, Angus. Magic rebels.
Okay, fine. She is magical. She uses magic.
Woo!
Angus pulls like it's not like a ooh magic. It's like a huh. Fair enough.
Okay, then
She
Prim will
was
take that.
badass enough to do that before it even got made legal.
Aye,
Prim will take that as a good sign to continue. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say, Matt?
And Kid says, "Wow," and she was doing that before it was made legal. Angus is like, "Aye, it's if anything, it's actually just kind of impressive that able to not get caught. Must live in like a lead-lined box or something. I don't know."
A little bit.
I mean, it sounds like she's a warlock.
Anyway.
I mean, would you ever look at a dwarf and think, "Oh, this one's got incredible magical abilities"? Let's be real.
Well, you'll probably best recognize her from her clothing. It's probably something you haven't seen before. It's from across the ocean.
So you're telling me that she's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, but also peacocking?
Prim tilts her head. I don't know what you mean by that.
Oh, peacocks. They're very beautiful, tasty animals.
Angus looks at you and goes like, "Well, he's not wrong."
Her style of dress is very unique, a little loud, but from what I remember, she blends in very well with her shop.
How can clothes be loud?
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
I mean, to be fair, Kid's wearing a set of chainmail right now that glitters like a sunset.
Really?
Plus, it's probably not very quiet.
No, it is not.
Flick, if you meet her, you'll be surprised how loud clothing can be. But regardless, it works for her, so it's fine.
Okay.
But she's a warlock, and I think she's powerful.
All right.
She would be a good ally, I think, in the city.
Sounds fun. You tell me more about what she can do, because I want to see how well I can work that into our plan. Now tell me, and Kid's just going to start going off on tangents about exactly how many times a day she can do magic, and upon hearing, oh, as many times as she wants, he's just going to be sitting there looking at his book like, what the fuck am I doing?
Speaking of magic,
Speaking of what the fuck am I doing?
both work. Our lovely player Don't Blink has managed to join us. Hey, Don't Blink, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself quickly and let everyone know that you're here?
Yeah, I'm Don't Blink. I play the amazing Vaco, sorcerer person.
The amazing Vaco.
Check out the picture.
So, what you missed, you've left Caldenbath. I'm now adopting Cody's way of saying it because it's much cooler sounding than Caldenbeath.
Cowden
Kevin
beef.
Yeah, Cowden Beef sounds like what happens when you go to a slaughterhouse.
I just realized it sounds like cow den beef.
Hmm.
Oh,
All right, Matt, take
Scotland
us
with its
away.
dumbass names.
Scotland.
Hey, so yeah, you left there. Angus had a scene which only Flick witnessed.
It was
Traveling,
beautiful.
You did
traveling.
flowers too.
Yeah, you traveling down. Keldor's doing his like checking everything out, but he's got an owlbear following him and helping him out, and he's also hanging out with the Minotaur Hyros, who is joining you briefly for an amount of time, most likely. Primrose told everyone about a little bit of their backstory, saying the long and the short of it, half orcs weren't really a thing in the tribe about 50 years ago. They tried to introduce them as like, oh, we'll mix with blood, and they're treated badly. Primrose kind of sucked and failed at being orc, so they booted her, well, them, and
That's where they stopped for now. But
yeah, booted them and their mother out, and then Primrose started talking about it's cold up there, and then couldn't really finish the story. They then proceeded to tell a little bit more about a friend they have in Dunkirk, a dwarf warlock. And this dwarf warlock has a shop, and just talking a little bit about her. So that's the long and the short of everything that's gone on.
Interesting.
just one thing. If you do meet her, try to be open. They're I'll say it. It's fine. I won't say it on her, but I'll say it to you. She's a little crazy. That's
Angus chimes in. Goes, on a scale of, I don't know, who's like the least crazy member of this
Vaco.
group?
On a scale of 1 to batshit,
On a scale of Vaco to meat sprinkles, whereabouts does she fall?
past.
Oh
Makes
dear.
sense.
Oh dear.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm really sure.
are you sure?
Are you sure we want to meet this one?
Kid's
Yeah.
actually a little bit
No.
disturbed.
Mako sits down and rubs his temple.
Like,
Oh
Listen.
no, not another one.
I mean, to be fair, Keldor's walking outside with an owl bear, and honestly, this has become normal for us. And you're telling me it gets worse?
I wouldn't
It
say
always gets
worse. She's not a bad person. She's just a little bit eclectic.
Well, there's eclectic. I mean, look at someone like Genfrey. But we all agree Genfrey's a wee bit weird. And Genfrey kind of turns its head and goes, I am.
Yeah,
we all
agree.
But, like, you know what? We'll take your word for it. Sure, she's a fine addition, fine friend, probably all those things. And you know, sorry, I'm probably gonna be taking a wee bit away from you, but talking about dwarves, not that all dwarves are the same or related or even know each other. I make no assumptions on such a. I also know a dwarf. I'm gonna. There we go. Pull that band-aid off. No idea. Where he's beggared off to. Because you know how I mentioned before about these, somewhere out in the world there are some magic hunters.
yeah.
I probably a good point to tell you is the last mission they got sent on would have been declared well. So they're probably around somewhere. Zendrix, I'm sorry. I know you got your vow of silence going on, but I'm gonna upset you a wee bit here. They were sent to kill all the, the druids and elves and all that shit. Not by me. I'll put my hands up. I actually said, do we need to kill them, Dad? They're not really hurting us. And my dad was like, no, we got to kill them. They're a bastard. And it was a whole thing. So that's where they are. I don't know if they're alive or if they killed everything. But to kind of like make it at least pretend like it wasn't a full-on murder mission. Wee fella, dwarfy man. I really shouldn't play him down. He was actually pretty fucking important. He was basically like in charge of the church, like big important fella called Relifor. So he might be somewhere out there in the forest if we're needing like another man of God. He'll be around there somewhere. Or he'll be dead. Either or. I don't know.
The point is,
There's a point.
yes, there's a point to this. I tell you about my friend. Her name, I'm sure if you say her name in town, you might get some looks, but they should be able to point you in the right direction. Her name is Utswa. And I'm sure she can tell you more about herself if you meet her. But the reason I bring her up is if you need an ally that you can trust, I would recommend her. If I'm not here, she would be a good place to turn to. That's all I'm saying. So,
All right, noted. So we'll just search out a really weird-looking dwarf in the in Dunkirk, and hopefully she won't kill us.
she
If
won't
that's
kill
correct.
you.
Are you sure?
Probably. So
Okay.
probably.
Okay, that sounds about right then. All right.
She won't.
About how far?
She won't.
Oh, go ahead.
She won't murder you.
Probably.
Probably.
She
Let's
might.
make that the party motto.
She might flay you or sell parts of you for profit, but she won't just murder you.
The only one I'm concerned about is Mr. Prince over here. She knows who he is. Sorry, Angus, she hates you. But that's besides the point, I guess.
I mean,
What would be different?
I don't want to like slander. I'm sure if you can vouch for, I'm sure they're a lovely person. I think it's a wee bit small-minded to have a fully formed opinion on someone you've never met or spoken to. So
I'm just saying, you're gonna have to talk to her.
I'm not denying her right to hate me. That's fine, I'm sure there's plenty of people I've gone, oh, they're probably a wee bit of a dick. But without a full interaction, to have such a fully formed opinion on someone who, at least in my own honest, slightly biased opinion, is just trying to be a decent guy.
It's not just you personally. She hates all the royal family members.
It's not just you, it's everyone you've ever known or loved.
So she's some kind of communist.
No, just okay, so think about it, right? She's a warlock. Magic, ooh, magic. That's been taken away. That's part of her life. She's been stuck here for over, let's see, probably 80 years. And this whole thing happens.
Do you know anybody less than a century?
All old people know each other.
She's not old. She's a dwarf. He's like.
They've had enough time to meet each other.
What?
All old people know each other. They've all had enough time to meet each other.
She's not old. And in the dwarf year, she's like 20, 30, something like that, I guess.
Okay.
But
My bad. You're right. She's a spring chicken.
the point is, Angus, I'm telling you to be careful if you happen to go to that shop. Just saying. She's a good ally. She is. Just be careful. Alright?
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Mm. And Prim kind of doesn't really decides not to talk about their backstory anymore. Their breakdown.
Okay. How far do we make it today?
On the whole, traveling for all of this, you will make it basically to the edge of the forest.
Unfortunately, we were going in the wrong direction the entire day, and nobody's head out to sea.
That's a good thing. How far did drunk Flick get us off of course? Is Gen 3 helping him?
Gen 3 is most definitely helping him.
Okay, cool.
So, kid, if you want to know more about the eye incident, you're gonna have to ask again. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about now? Kid says as he begins immediately going into this as we
Well,
are
that
going.
was out of character. That was me saying that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
All right. He's not going to let the eye thing rest because that is the only visible scar that you have that he knows
That
about,
is,
and he wants
yeah.
to know more.
all right, then
He
we'll
knows
leave
that
it
Eliza
at
doesn't have any scars. Except for now. She got some scars from Lion.
that.
Yeah, she do.
I like the fact that Kid was indirectly responsible for Eliza's first scar. Okay. How far do we make it?
Okay, so let me have a little looky-loo on the map. So, with Flick drunkenly driving, and Gen 3 assisting.
Hey,
Macarena.
Yeah, you can
With
get
the
yourself.
reins.
You can get yourself a good solid 20 miles, getting you exactly to this point here. So, and that's where you'll get as it starts to become nightfall.
Do I need to roll? Oh, what's spot checks for all the stuff I'm doing?
What stuff are you doing?
Scouting. Trying to see what's around us.
I'm also, as we get closer to the forest, keeping a drunken eye out for ambushes and
Yeah.
specifically.
Well, you know what? Let me drag. Oh, wait a second. Before I drag you, I just realized something is there which shouldn't be there. But no. There we go. So let me just drag you there. It's the same generic camp screen which I use
hey
for.
guys, we found grass.
It's the same generic screen which is used for all of your campsites. I just change it a little bit each time. So, I should have put some trees on there. Should have thought of that. Never mind. You can live without trees.
Yeah, it's only a forest. You're right.
Well, you're not in the forest. You're on the outskirts. You're on the outskirts of the forest.
There, we got
Oh, okay. Look at that. Perfect.
Magical.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
tree.
Dibs on sleeping in the big one.
Okay, so you arrive. The night is starting to fall.
Starting
And-
fall?
Starting to fall.
Ah. That makes
So
more sense.
it's probably sensible to set up camp in some way, shape, or form. You just realize you need an owlbear token, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me
I mean, an invisible owlbear would be way cooler.
It would also be more
Yeah.
terrifying.
Oh my goodness, yes. Invisible
I mean,
owlbear.
This
You
is
have
Snowy,
the
the
means.
invisible owl bear. Where
You
could he
do-
be? A person walks by with just to the top part of his body sticking out of something's mouth.
You guys do have the means to make it invisible.
Only temporarily, though. I want a permanently
Marco, is this the thing
invisible
we want?
owlbear. Beautiful.
No.
There you go.
Oh,
There's
geez.
Snow the Owlbear. And controlled by Archer.
Yay.
There we go, you. Owlbear unlocked.
And now I
Do. Bum, bum, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, bum. Do. So, as you are setting up camp and all of that good stuff, what are people doing?
Well, first off, I'd be looking for, like, just what's in the general area, just get an idea of where stuff could be coming from. Yeah, that kind of thing.
All right, so if you just have like a little quick look around, on the whole, at least where you are, this place looks really much like pretty much untouched in lots of areas. You know, there's like generic wildlife. You know, there'll be a few like wolf tracks and bear tracks from however many hours, days ago. Certainly no humanoids. Not this openly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I just realized I also need the Minotaur. Who is also traveling with you. There we go. That should be all of you of importance. So yeah, aside from like animal tracks, there's certainly no signs of humanoid existence and whatnot around here. You assume if it is there, it'd have to be deeper in. Where you are, like, yes, if someone was to like actively try and sneak up on you, they could. But it's not like you are right there in the open and anybody would like. You don't appear to be like at anyone's mercy. Someone is either, if someone is coming to find you, it is either, if someone comes across you, sorry, it is either on purpose or they just so happen to be in the same direction.
so you mean like every other time ever?
Well,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like there'd be
Ambush point.
just, yeah. It's not like,
Okay.
ooh, we set this up, we's gonna get you. You know,
All right,
and
now
it
I get
doesn't
what you're
seem
saying.
like it'd be, well, there wouldn't be like 20 groups of people. You know, it'd be like there'd be one group of people that you might come across by
Alright.
random happenstance. It's not a very well.
I'm gonna.
Are we still
Alright.
in a snowy area?
It's slightly less snowy because you're further down. You're no longer in the mountain region, so there is still some snow, like a small spattering on the ground, but the grass is kind of poking up through it a little bit.
What kind of trees are there around us? Like
This
the two
is-
on the.
This is a very classical European-esque forest. So there's large pine trees, fir trees, quite a few like oak trees. So there's quite a few dead trees with it being pushing into winter. there's a few evergreens spattered around, but there's also just as many like large trees that are deciduous.
Okay, so this big one that's just below us here, what is that?
Let's.
I'm
Let's-
wondering more or less if either of these two are like a tree that I could climb up and get cover in, or if they're naked trees where I'm just gonna stick out like a bird's nest.
The ones here, they still have greenery. Like you could go and hide in them. It's not
Okay.
like.
Then I'm gonna climb up the big one below us and sit lookout.
Okay.
Well, I could have taken 20, but instead I just got a 20.
Boom. Even better. I thought that didn't look familiar. I was looking on the wrong website. There we go. That's the thing I needed. Alrighty. What was I doing? There we go. Breathing out, thinking. How and where are you guys setting up camp, and what bits and pieces are you all getting on with?
Um,
I think we should set up camp. I'm going to draw it. I'm going to use yellow so that we will not be lost against the background. All right, how big is our tent?
They're 10 by 10s, aren't they?
Yeah,
10 by 10s?
yeah, you've got a collection of 10 by 10 tents. Wow, that's
Okay.
a weird mouthful.
So there's a
10 by 10 tents?
Yeah.
We'll put one right there. We'll put one right here.
Okay, we got
we'll
5 of them.
put one right here, and we'll put one right here, and our fire will be right there. Also, it's a square, and we'll
Square
haul
fire.
over some logs to sit on.
Square logs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rectangle logs,
of
sorry.
different sizes. And we'll dig a latrine
Well, what?
over here behind this bush.
A poop ditch.
Oh,
Yes.
dig a latrine. Okay.
Yes, we have a shovel. Why
you-
not?
I thought you said something else entirely.
Okay, so I think that is probably the best way to do this. The owl bear will need to be tied up, so we'll have to find a tree somewhere nearby
After it digs the latrine.
after it digs a latrine.
I don't think I've taught it that.
Okay, now's as good a time as any.
Nope.
mean-
I have different ideas with what I'm teaching it tonight.
Okay, cool. Who's Hyros gonna sleep with?
Keldor, probably.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, we've got enough. Wait, no, he's bigger than the tent. He needs to find a new place.
They're only like 7, 8 feet tall.
Someone can sleep on the wagon. We'll be fine. Hyros is going to get up in the middle of the night and realize that, oh, wait, we're stuck. And he's going to stand up and his horns are going to impale the top of the tent.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh,
You ever seen a
no,
cow get
I
something stuck on
broke
its head?
it.
Wait, no, you guys don't have immediate access to cows like I do.
Can't say I do.
Okay.
Not so much.
Yeah, when they get something stuck on their head, it's amazing. Because they'll be running around constantly, and you can't chase them down. You just have to wait until they somehow get it off.
If you want us to move our characters, we can't. I can't.
You
I
guys
can.
don't have.
I cannot.
I can move you. Where are you?
Oh, I'm the icon on myself.
Okay. Oh, Sputnik's in the bush.
Keldor's not.
And
someone's sawing logs in the back.
says you.
Just put me over here, I guess.
It says you should have control, so I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know.
Why do you still have a 70 for your armor class?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
Eventually,
Old
whenever
people
you're
play.
old enough, you just stop taking damage.
It's just like,
Yeah.
ping!
Oh wait, no, red is health. Red is health. Still though, you're a bard.
Yeah, I'm also half work.
She's the
You're also a monk.
tankiest member of the party.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, the armor class would be 30. We'll figure that out later.
Okay, I can move then now. That's fine.
Green is the AC.
Yeah, that's wrong in Primrose's.
Yeah.
The green is speed in Primrose's for some reason.
Oh.
Anyway, it doesn't matter right now.
Okay, so campside. I'm gonna have like lovely campfire times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just in
Sit
case
and
something
chit-chat.
attacks us in the middle of the night, I'm going to make sure I have all of my spells prepared.
Yeah.
Keldor's gonna be really distracted, eat really fast, and then try and he's gonna spend some time with his owlbear and try and
Mhm.
teach it a new trick.
Ooh, what are you trying to teach it?
Okay. Let's see. Ba-ba-ba. If it works. Boom. Oh, that is a terrible, terrible roll. And it didn't update. But anyways, he's trying to teach him to do the sneaky sneak.
Okay, so let's see how this animal takes to learning. Yeah,
It's an owl bear.
it's kind of there. Like it you know, it understands the concept of doing a sneaky sneak. Depending on how capable it is, that is dependent on individual roles. However, I will now allow you to make hide and move silently checks for the owlbear.
Yay! I just want to say that was a terrible, terrible roll. That was a 2.
Jesus. I love how our like big combat focused guy is also the skill monkey.
Scout class!
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
So-
tired. Okay.
Fireside story times / vague plans. So the information you have been given, Primrose, saying there's not really much in my little village. So, there's that. Angus has told you he knows there are druids in the forest because there's also currently a band of people here specifically to kill them. There's
Yep.
also a very important cleric in the forest doing something. So, hey, maybe can recruit. Or, I don't know, whatever you plan to do, but you know it exists. You also know there is potential allies in Dunkirk as well. So you've got a whole bunch of options. Kid, I guess, as tactician,
Mm-hmm.
I think if anyone was to start the conversation, or at least push for a particular stance, your voice would be the most listened to.
That would be a shock. Okay. So, I guess if we were to try and figure this out, I do think that we need to go into the forest because I don't know a whole lot about druids, but I know that Zindrix can make lightning shoot out of everything. And so it might be a good idea, at least, to have others who could do that with some degree of ability.
Yes, assuming that they're going to, do that for us and not to us.
Hey, I mean, we've had allies attack us first,
Yeah,
and they
remember
usually
Ernst?
become our very staunchest allies. Yeah, exactly. And see, Genthry just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, he wasn't on the map, so.
The irony is overwhelming.
See, no one even noticed him until it was too late. And so here's the thing: if we have druids who can get into the town disguised as rats, now hear me out, disguised as rats, then we'll have people on the inside already. So that way, whenever we load Flick up into the Frost Giant's arms and they throw him inside, he will be able to immediately communicate with the rats and stage a counter operation.
Please tell me Flick just sticks his head out of a tree and goes, "Wait, what?"
Is that true? Can you hear?
I don't know. Can I hear this conversation from up in the tree?
Honestly, you planted the seed that became this part of the conversation.
I'll assume I'll come down for this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, I drop out of the tree.
I don't want to deal with more rats.
Noted. Well, where else are we going to get someone that small? I'm going to look immediately at Vako, because while he is not small, he is probably the lightest member of the party,
What about
as he's very
crows?
skinny. Crows?
Yeah.
Explain. I don't know what you mean by crows.
As opposed to rats.
I know that if you're a real dick to crows, the crows will eventually attack you.
Uh-huh.
So I know what this guy looks like. If we could make like a rudimentary mask and have someone get on the inside and just antagonize the crows while wearing this mask, maybe the crows will do all our work for us. Good plan. We'll shelve it for now.
That's a plan for something. I don't know if it's a success.
Isn't that the way all of our plans go?
This is very true.
Yeah, and somehow we're still alive. It's almost like God is merciful and light-handed.
Baco like gives a subtle call.
Okay. We've got to... Here's the idea. If we can get in there and we can talk to... Like, here's the thing. Angus, you said that you know this guy, right?
Well, no. He was kind of there for a bunch of major events. I never really spoke much to him, but he is loyal to the crown, I guess. So unless he's dead or like, he should be friendly to what it is, at least.
Okay. Does he know that you made magic legal?
No. He went
Would
out on
you-
the mission like a few days before Dundee fell. I don't even know if he knows the city's gone, if I'm honest. Don't know how long
Okay.
he's still here, for all I know. We've been
News
out
like
here.
that tends to travel.
If there's no one there to travel.
I don't
Yes.
know.
But as we saw, there were thousands of refugees.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
there
here's
were
the
that
question.
many people.
Oh shit, if
Yeah.
there's refugees, they might have headed off to Draxspire.
They probably headed to everywhere. There's only like 4 places to go.
Okay.
He's not
Bad
alone.
idea to go to Draxspire. It's too cold for them.
Angus,
mean,
I'm going to
it
go
is
ahead and be
what it
very
is.
clear. As your general, I honestly recommend that we build extra towns.
Now you're the general. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I've been the general.
if I'm being totally honest and transparent, my understanding of the history of why there's not loads of populated areas, it is not from a lack of building, it's more from a lack of settlement. All of these places were settled and then built up around. So, quite frankly, when you've got Dundee and Dunkirk, these big, logical places to settle, near rivers, near the sea, good farming land, and then look where else you got. Like, no offense, Primrose, certainly no offense to you, but not many people go, you know what? I'm gonna go make a nice home for myself up a fucking mountain.
They shouldn't. Cold.
You know, so
Yeah, amazing what they do without magic, though. Like, here's the thing: we get magic in, and we start building these places. Like, okay, hear me out. Prestidigitation. I'm gonna cast it really quickly. Prestidigitation. Now you see your clothes right here.
Aye.
I'm gonna make them filthy. See that right there? Now your clothes look like something that you pulled out of the gutter. And now look at this. I snap my fingers, and they're cleaner than when before I did this. Look at that. Now imagine, we put someone hard at work on like a cabinet that can do that. You put your clothes in, and it comes out clean. That's the innovation that I think your dad and a couple of the other people who thought that this whole magic shenanigans were thought was a good idea. That's the short-sightedness that they missed out on. All of us are smelly because of them.
Almost
You know,
like
I am certainly not trying to defend my dad and all of the other people. I have learned that magic can and is primarily a force for good. But remember what destroyed our entire hometown? Giant fucking fireballs of magic.
Yes, but your hammer could have killed me just as easily as anything else could.
This is true. It's. I think I'm not justifying their hatred. I am merely saying I can understand the place in which it came from. It came from a place of fear, because quite frankly, magic is fucking terrifying.
It
Unless
is.
you got magic
It
yourself.
really is.
So here's the question: Why
it's
don't we
still
set up?
terrifying.
Like, here's the thing. I'm actually going to address Eliza on this one. Eliza, you're like a cleric of book learning, right? Okay, now tell me, about how easy do you think it would be to teach a school?
How many people in this school and how many teachers?
That's a good question. The answer is however many actually want to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and say maybe 6, as far as how many teachers.
I mean, providing that every individual is willing to learn. I mean, obviously, you do have to take into account natural capability to a certain extent, which is unfair because, quite frankly, I believe everybody is entitled to at least a basic education. But if you're meaning for teaching everybody how to use like basic magic, on the whole, it would be vaguely doable.
Sure,
But
I'm not spiritual. I don't have the ability to work a room quite like Vaco can. But like I'm smart. I put my brain towards the work. I learned how to read. I have this book right here. You're telling me that they don't have at least one of those qualities?
well, I mean, I suppose from my understanding in book, there are there are 3 ways one can primarily use magic, and they all break down to a basic use of the mind or the spirit. So if we were to give arbitrary factors to these things, like let's call it intelligence for like your book learning, and then
Yes.
wisdom for your spirituality, and then charisma for people like
Vaco.
Prim and Vaco and Mateus, and we can just do it. It's just a natural, and obviously you don't need to teach a natural person; they can do it. But as for the people who need either intelligence or wisdom, providing they have an average or a slightly above average ability, they'd be able to do some. But no offense to um, manual workers, like not all of them. The genetic, like manual worker or a farm hand or a such and such and so on. Fundamentally, I don't know if they would be capable of mastering a lot of it. I think if people put their minds to it and worked hard, they could at least gain some basic understanding.
Okay, so Angus, the first step, what I can tell based on listening to that, was we need to make schools so that people can get very intelligent so they can learn magic, which is the real focus.
What about
Keldor's just sitting there with his head just like Kilder's
We
gonna
can make
walk up
people
and say,
smart.
"Don't magic. Magic is useful, but it's
Are
a
you telling
tool."
us that? Well, okay. So let me put it like this: you're a big magic guy who can shout as much as he wants. No, I don't think you're magic. You're just a big guy who shouts and people suddenly listen.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you can't deny that that is something. That is something that only you have.
No, any knight does. It's just a matter of training. Thing is, it's not
Okay,
magic.
you prove my point.
There's different ways of doing it, and magic, especially your type of magic, not everyone can do. Me wouldn't be able to learn your kind of magic.
You couldn't
And
learn prestidigitation.
actually don't know. I've never tried. Don't really want to.
I'm gonna sit you down and we're gonna see if we can do. Aw.
Gonna see if we
You
can
know
learn
what? Here's the
one
thing,
spell.
Angus. If we can do this, I'll become a teacher.
Oh,
You can send him up to Cowdenboth.
are we
mean-
creating a magic
Send him up to
hub
Cowdenboth.
for
Well,
the Kingdom of Fife?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not intrinsically against the idea of creating like areas for people to study because obviously what my dad had there was like well there was really only one. There was one like scholar. Don't know if you ever met him. He was kind of a bit of a whack job called Anstruther.
he was the guy who got us started on this.
Oh, I have met him.
Yes,
dead.
he's dead.
Giant rock fell on his head.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
It
He
was
would have been
before
a
we met
great
you.
teacher. But so it's not like the kingdom has ever not seen the benefit. So I guess in a much more controlled manner, it wouldn't be too outrageous to have some kind of educational system.
Sure, we can call it Cowdenboth School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
What's the difference between a witch and a wizard?
How they ride the broom.
That's true. We could have Primrose
I don't
teach
know.
them
I've seen
that.
some wizards ride the same broom that witches do.
Flick, whilst that is an amusing little bit of insight, I believe you're making your opinions on this defined by arbitrary gender roles.
You're damn right he is.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
okay, Prince.
It's whether you ride it side saddle or not. If you ride it side saddle, you're a wizard. If you don't, you're a witch.
Prim raises their hand.
Primrose wants to be a teacher too, see?
No. Okay.
Yes, Primrose. What do you have to say?
I think a good place to start would be to reverse the fear people have of magic.
And not suddenly thrust it in their face.
That's the first step. You do what you're trying to do now, kid, with the whole school thing. So suddenly, you're going to wind up with Utswa's situation, where she is feared and ridiculed and mocked in the streets.
And you're gonna have people
It's-
marching on your place to burn it down.
Oh,
So
I
say.
definitely. I mean, I don't know. Depending on how we go about this whole thing, if honestly, I couldn't say it. However, depending on how Dunkirk was taken after Dundee got burned to the ground, I mean, if we march in there and show that no magic can be good, maybe some people accept, maybe some people will be against it. It's definitely a long process and probably way too much for us to sit here and discuss right now because it appears we are out of time for tonight's session, everybody.
I
We
told
all
you
look
once
back
and
and
for
forth
all,
at
you
him.
can't put me to bed.
We look at him a little bit back and forth and we realize that's just his way of saying it's time to sit down and go to bed for that night. He's taking the first watch.
All right.
Who is?
Unst. No, sorry.
Unst isn't here.
Unst isn't here. We're just thinking about him. Let's
Not
have him and
Unst,
Hyros
thanks.
take the first.
Yeah.
Are you
all right.
taking a watch, kid?
Okay.
we'll start up next session with
Alright.
all of this stuff. So we
Yay!
are out of time. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. I am Knock. My name is under my face. That's my Twitter, Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, all those things. Find me, follow me, validate me by making my numbers bigger. Validate. Archer, if I wanted to find you doing stuff on the internet, where would I look?
Look up Archer of the Eye. I will show up. I am currently on DeviantArt and Twitch. I haven't done anything recently because jobs. That should be changing within the next couple weeks. I do have some new art going up on my DeviantArt page in just a bit, and hopefully I'll have new announcements by next week.
Woo!
Here's hoping.
It just depends on
Yeah.
job stuff, because job stuff is annoying.
Yeah. The other thing, Cody, do you know
We've got a
that?
new place.
Yes, he has a new
Yes.
place.
He has a new place. He is on Twitter, which is not exactly a new place, but it's a new place for him. He is on https / twitter.com/ Thomas TOMIS capital J lowercase b.
/
No, that's the end. That's the end. Any more would be
Oh, okay.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. That's where it would get ridiculous.
Yeah. So, I noticed in our Discord that he's an awesome all-round person, but I consider him one of my good friends from the Welcome to the Party server in general, being Shogun. He is playing some D&D over on Alaskan Blue Jay, so that's who we're gonna go raid.
Woo!
Yay.
That's on the raid party.
So raid channel Alaskan Blue Jay. I don't know how to spell that. Alaskan Blue Jay. Don't
I'll
quote it
ask
cor-
an Blue Jay.
That looks
No?
correct. So we're gonna go there. Whilst that's happening, everybody, if you want more Welcome to Party stuff, go check out the Discord. It's where
Do
awesome
it.
stuff happens.
Seriously.
Follow on Twitter at Welcome Party RPG. Follow here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG, and subscribe to catch up on all of these things over on YouTube at youtube.com/Welcome to the Party.
Hop
Alright.
on in. We're discussing biscuits and gravy and party food.
Oh God, I messed up the raid command. Everything ruined.
Oh no, it's terrible. Everybody sit in
Right.
awkward silence.
D&D license revoked, Matt.
All right.
Shut up. Well, yeah, that one.
Yay! it
There we go.
works!
So, until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy adventuring.
Bye.